Medelvers. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Anybody? I think this is the first time I've started a live stream and I haven't had like hardly anybody watching. I honestly don't know that there's anyone out there, but I'll do it anyway. You're wrong. My wrong. First, good to see you. But anyway, listen, wherever you are out there, whether you're watching over on Twitter or you're watching here on YouTube, please give me a shout because I, of course, am the one and only the Dungeon Delver. And I'm here, Robert Senton. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. We're filling up. Folks are filing in. But anyway, welcome to Monday. And before anybody asks, no, this is not some weird thing. This is not some unusual special announcement. This is just this is how I go on Mondays now for reasons that I have explained in the past. Or in the pasta. No, I don't think it has anything to do with pasta. Anyway, welcome to the show. Maybe you're a new subscriber. Maybe the internet has sent you here and you don't know what all this is. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and what we do. This live stream here, this is what I call the Delver's Dungeon. And on this show, on the Delver's Dungeon, we like to talk about classic TTRPG stuff. We like to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. We have a particular focus on D&D, and we live stream it 5 nights a week. These discussions, these interviews with creators, because we do that too. That's not always necessarily people who are into first edition AD&D. Sometimes we talk to creators of new things. 40,000 ants. Good Lord. What are you guys just kind of working together like your jaws and feet are all kind of clamped together and you're working as a person? I mean, I've heard of 3 kobolds in a trench coat, but I tip my hat to you. North of the Rockies, Stephanie Craig. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome back. You jump on the key. Well, that makes sense. That makes, I've seen phase 4 and I just want to say I'm willing to comply. But anyway, Dirty History and Hobbies. Good evening to you. North of the Rockies. Hello. 33K7 Ardu RPG. He's got a YouTube channel. If you are, is it all in Portuguese or do you do Spanish and Portuguese, Ardu? But he's got a great news channel. If English is not your first language, and it is well, at least Portuguese, then you might check out his channel because he covers a lot of RPG news for the folks who have that. Just Portuguese. Folks who just speak Portuguese. Cyrus, this is what we do now. We go early on Mondays. That is what we do because, as I've said before, and I will keep repeating this message until there is no one to hear it. Monday nights, I have a private first edition AD&D game that starts at 10 o'clock. If I do my usual start timer even just a little earlier at, say, 8 or 8:30, sometimes, like, I have stuff that I want to discuss. You guys have got questions, and I feel like I have to rush you out the door. Flint Fireforge, enjoy your Shadow Dart game. Rather than do that, rather than say, Hey, I've got exactly 57 minutes and try and cram it all in and, have a topic that's come up that I might want to discuss. I thought, well, let's just move it back earlier on Monday. Plus, this can give it. I have fans all over the world, and this gives some of perhaps people who are elsewhere in different time zones maybe a chance to tune in. We just got going. Wonderful Wizard game. I was just explaining the new things. But anyway, so yeah. Now, again, if you're just stopping by and you haven't already, please do consider clicking the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications because I think we do pretty awesome stuff that you might like. It's 12:36 at midnight, 40,000 ants. That's not, granted, that's pretty late. But for me, that's like fairly, that's kind of early in the evening. Like I walk my dog sometimes at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night if he's really got to go. I walk him and I'll go up the street and I'll be like, why is it like something out of a post-apocalypse movie? Every house is dark, only the street lights, not a soul around. I don't see the glow of a television through curtains. Nobody's coming out to their car to run an errand. And then I'm like, oh, right. Yeah, because other people, have normal circadian rhythms. This isn't like early evening for them. This is when people are going to bed. Dirty History and Hobbies, I wouldn't hold my breath on seeing AD&D go into Creative Commons. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe it will. I am probably this week going to pay for I'm going to pay for someone's Substack. Is that the right word? Is that the blog thing where you can donate and get to read? There's a Substack of real interest that I want to drop a video on. So I'm going to, I'm going to pay to read this guy's Substack. And which, as I understand, is not a pile of delicious sandwiches. But I'm gonna read this guy's Substack because it's got some sources, and then I'm gonna drop a video this week, a follow-up video to an earlier video because I think it's kind of important to us to do that. But that's a first, and that's how much I care about you guys. Taco Bell is like a chime of hunger. I would say Taco Bell is like a chime of opening. I shouldn't have to explain that to you. Darth Brooks, hello. Did I go to GaryCon this year? Ultra American TT? No. I will probably not again. I mean, who knows what the future holds, but no. The big things on the horizon right now. Yes, 40,000 ants. That's true. I'm going to tag that because I want to come back to your question. But I do want to answer the question about GaryCon. The big things I have coming up this year, I will be going to, in July, I will be going to EggCon, which is another con honoring Gary Gygax. And that is at the invitation of Heidi Gygax Garland and Eric Garland. They invited me up, and who was I to say no than to join their role of honored guests? I'm actually on the guest of honor list for that, and I'm excited about it. So I'm looking forward to being up there. My picture with Gary? Oh, wow. Holy crap, Vinny. Wow. Wow. Man, you didn't get a picture of it, did you? That is, oh gosh. Is it just like but it's just like a picture. It's not like this is Bill Sylvie and Gary Gygax, right? It's not like, it's not like my name is on it. Um, well, I'm going to be up there this summer. I will go and see myself. It's a digital pop-up. Okay. That that makes, I mean, I have put that picture out there so many times and shared that picture out there so many times. That doesn't surprise me. But that is freaking cool. Hey, there's Bill Sylvie and some guy. I'm sure that's what you said. That is way cool. But anyway, I will be at EggCon. I will be at EggCon in July. I will be there from the Thursday to the Sunday or the Wednesday to the Sunday. I'm not sure which. But before then, we've got the guac happening right here on this channel. And let me see here. Who's our friend? Somebody was asking about this. Oh, Stephanie. Stephanie might need help learning how to use Discord. So Stephanie Craig can come and play. The Guac, the great underground online gaming convention that is 100% free. No travel cost, no room cost, no badge cost, snacks and merch. That's pretty much what you got to pay for because you got to feed yourself at home. And if you want a t-shirt, a hat, a mug, a mouse pad, a shower curtain, a crop top, if you will, you've got to do that. So that's happening in May. That is May the 21st through the 25th, right here on the interwebs. Then in July, I will be going to EggCon, and then and something's happening between then and September, but I can't discuss it yet. But it's going to be really cool. It is a collab I'm doing with some people. It's going to be super cool. I can't say anything else about it, but it will require my travel to another state. And speaking of states and states of mind, in September, I will be traveling from the United States to Australia for a couple of weeks. The travel won't be a couple of weeks. I will be flying from Orlando to Australia, and I will be hanging out with my co-host, Kyle Schuant, in the land down under, which I'm super duper excited about. So that's my travels this year, and there's more to come in 2026. 2026 has got me hyped up. 12 hours? No. The flight from Orlando to Melbourne will probably be on the order of 28 hours. I will almost certainly be on an airplane long enough to have at least 2 sleep cycles. I'm looking forward / not looking forward to it. Hey, there's my co-host, the Viking Hat GM. Love you, my brother. Hope things are okay down where you are. Anyway, so now let's answer the question. 40,000 ants ask. Love saying that. 40,000 ants ask. I have not played D&D 1E before. I keep hearing it's super light on rules and options. Okay. You're half right. It's super light on rules, but because it's super light on rules, there are infinite options. So let's say you're playing 5e or even 3.5, maybe even 2nd edition. and you say, okay, we're in this tavern fight. I want to jump on the table and jump from table to table to get to the gang leader in the back. What do I need to do? Well, do you have the acrobatics feat? No, then you can't do it. Or do you have the acrobatics feat? No. Well, you can try, but you'll be at disadvantage the whole time. In AD&D, I want to climb up and jump from table to table to get to the to get to the gang leader in the back of the tavern. Okay. Give me a save versus paralyzation or petrification. If you fail it, you stumble and fall. He's not trying to turn you to stone. If you fail it, you stumble and fall. And that's it, because you need to die to adjudicate it. Or maybe the DM rolls a d6. On a 1, you stumble and fall. Or maybe the DM doesn't do that at all. Maybe the DM just says, okay, I'm going to treat this as normal movement. You're walking from table to table. That's what you're doing in this round. That's just one example of how open first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons can be. I recommend you embrace that openness and give it a try, because I think you'll like it a lot. By the way, you are not my only, no, wrong thing. You are not my only Greek fan out there. Yeah, see, it would be an athletics or, good morning to you, Death Angels. It would be an athletics check or an acrobatics check. So the DM might just say, do it. Great old ones, hello. So, yeah, it's first edition AD&D. It's just super simple. Now, a lot of people look at the wrong end of the telescope and they say, oh, I have to play Mother May I with the DM, and if he decides I can't, then I can't. Well, I mean, there's nothing in 3.5 that says that the DM has to let you do anything that you have the skill for. Like, one of the things that I absolutely hate, starting with 3rd edition, going all the way to probably 6th edition, 2 little words. 2 words that should be struck from tabletop role-playing. 2 little words that should have never been introduced. If you said to me, Bill, you can take anything, you can extirpate it from history of D&D just in the rules. What's the one thing, not like I'm going to, skills. No, you don't get to say that. You have to pick a skill. You know, you can't say 4th edition. No. Sense motive. I have seen that bullshit abuse. Oh, somebody's going to have to super chat me. My pick of Holmes rules, Moldvay Cook rules, Menzer rules. Oh, my pick, like P-I-C-K. In order, I would go with Moldvay Cook, Holmes, and Menzer's like an extremely distant third. But anyway, sense motive. Sense motive. I'm going to sense motive on the Duke. Ooh, nat 20. You add all my bonuses, and that's almost a 30. That means I can read his mind. And I have seen that abused so much. Sorry, I got a little piece of cat fuzz on my hat here. I have seen that abused so badly, so horribly. I never, ever want to hear sense. Can I make a sense motive check? And I will absolutely look, if I found myself playing a D&D game, running a D&D game where that was a thing, and a player said, ooh, I want to roll sense motive, I would say his motive is that he wants you to leave. His motive is that he wants you to listen to what he's saying. Yeah, but is he lying? Is he telling the truth? What's his true motivation? It is a free casting of ESP with no save. And I ain't giving you that, ever. Not in the way that people have abused it. So I would throw that in the trash. I would say sense motive is gone. Nobody ever gets to sense motive again. Okay, Ardu, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. You're sensing my motive is saltiness. No, my mood is salty. My motive is making D&D better. You sense I want to make D&D better. Yeah, I counterspell with deflect rationale. He's trying to sense motive. I counterspell, deflect rationale. Lee Heckin Nat 20. The universe bends to my will. Yeah, that's horrible. I was talking today on X about a type of player, and you guys feel free to keep asking me questions, and I'll pause and I'll answer them. But I've honestly never ever seen this in a game, but I have seen this as D&D horror stories, and I really, really want. No, because if we're playing a poker game, I'll break out cards and we'll play poker. I'm a bad poker player, so the players will probably win. Hey, Doc Flamingo, good to see you. By the way, has anyone seen Jimmy Invictus lately? I miss that guy. There we go. Got that cat hair off. There it's gone. That's right, Doc. The hat. And thank you for re-upping, my friend. So I'm not a fan of psionics. Not so much. Yeah, I would never let sense motive work. His motivation is that he wants you to buy stuff or get out of his shop. Sorry, I'm just like that. Yeah, passive skills are bad. Anyway, have you ever seen this in a game where a player has a secret that they try to keep even from you, the dungeon master? Like, it's the end of the game, you're fighting the demon, you're fighting the boss, and the player says, actually, I'm a demigod. Here is my demigod character sheet. I'm a demigod of whoopsie chaos. So I go in and I start doing all the things that I want to do in your campaign. And you have to let me, because this was my secret from you and the rest of the players to impose this on your game. Have you ever seen that? Doc Flamingo, thank you for the super. Sonics are great if you want your games to suck. You can fix AD&D psionics and not just by throwing them out. But we've talked about that in other times. But anyway, have you ever seen that? Have you guys ever had a player who tried to play this card of, I've decided that my character has a secret and I'm keeping it secret from you, the DM? I don't want to get my head up my butt. However, I, as the DM, am the totality of the universe that you play in. There is nothing I'm not aware of. You might never try and break into the abandoned house. Like I say, you're driving through a rough part of the neighborhood. There's abandoned houses to the left and the right. But I know what's in those abandoned houses. You don't, and you never will. But I do. I know the last name of the barmaid, whom you just call barmaid. I know what's behind the secret door that you missed, and I know that the secret door is there. I know how a given god is or isn't going to react. I know what your character's foibles and limitations are. See you around, Ultra American TTRPGer. See, I've never seen it happen in a game either, Damien, but I see it pop up every once in a while in TTRPG horror stories that people talk about. And that sounds so fascinating. Like, I would almost like to meet somebody operating on that level of arrogance and delusion at the game table. Like, I would literally, like, I just want to get up inside your head and just sort of dig around and find out what's going on in there. My paladin isn't a paladin. He's secretly chaotic evil, but he's not telling his god that. I fooled you, game master, the whole time. I'd be like, no, you didn't. Gary Bovey, good to see you, my friend. You're not too late. Just put a $5 in the late jar by the door. Just do that. I suspect a player that would do that would probably have been bounced from one of its. Yeah. Now that I would allow, north of the Rockies. Replace my regular coffee with new Folgers crystals. And see, I don't agree with that, Dirty History and Hobbies. I don't, I mean, well, first of all, you got to remember the dragon. Okay, I want to be careful about what I'm about to say, but was this out on a limb or from the Sorcerer's Scroll? Let me know that. Now, if your player is doing things that trend towards a different alignment and you're being as subtle about those as possible until you do a heel turn, I think that's a little different from my character is actually Han Solo from Star Wars. He draws his blaster and shoots the demon and wins the game. Have I had a player do that where they lie about their backstory? I have not. 33K7. But it's kind of fascinating to me. Yeah, paladins don't have to be lawful or need a god to get their power. Yeah, keep that just keep that out of my game. No, your chaotic neutral tiefling is not a paladin. Your chaotic neutral tiefling might have tripped and hit their head and is now delusional and they think they're a paladin. Oh, I'm going to lay hands on Bob the fighter and heal him for 13 points. Bob, you're still in agony. You've got arrows stuck in you and a couple of sword wounds and that nasty gash that the spear gave you. But Robert the tiefling over here, he thinks he healed you. Cyrus calling back to the Friday Night Gamma World game. Calling Greedo a demon out there. Oh, Tiwaka Solo. Yes, I bet you have, Zot. Hey, TXG. Well, we started at 6:30 tonight. The Holy Revenger from Tui about that halfling rogue that bumped his head and thought they were a paladin. I have heard of that. But again, I mean, delusions aren't reality. Death Angel Shadow, you win one internet dollar. That is the correct attitude. Rory, thanks for popping in. Yeah, I've just never seen it. The whole. Now, I mean, players that keep secrets from each other, like if a player came to me and said, hey, my dude's a lawful evil cleric, I want to send this party straight to hell, particularly, the goody goodies. Can I pretend to be a paladin? Like, I'll cast cleric spells, but they'll think it's my. I might allow something like that. But yes, Bill, I'm playing a paladin. He's lawful good. Awesome. Ha! He's lawful evil. He was a lawful evil cleric all along, and you, the game master, didn't know. Here's my big reveal. I just made your game better. I'd be like, no, you didn't. Hey, with the Wheeling Dragon. Michael Connor. I understand. That is the other correct point of view. Deckard is, in fact, a human. That's a Delve coin, by the way. That's $1 in Delve coin. Diamond hands, guys. It's going to the moon. Buy Delve coin now. Just a passerby, I am wearing the hat. I mean, to me, my character has a secret and I'm keeping it from the DM. That is about like a player passing me a note and another player saying, I get to read that note. I want to know what that player said to you. Well, you can't. I'm not going to tell you. Well, yeah, but my character would want to know. This is the player talking to the DM. This is not the character talking to anyone. Forgotten Realms. Okay, so see, that's Forgotten Realms, and I don't really know much about Forgotten Realms. I mean, I don't like the idea of lawful neutral paladins, okay? I would say no. If somebody said, hey, run D&D for us and please run Forgotten Realms, I would say, yeah, but there ain't no lawful neutral paladins. And there sure as hell are no elf paladins either, or dwarf paladins. You secretly built leveled character capable of killing your entire party because they had a tendency to do a heel turn and do evil crap. I mean, I guess if in your heart you planned to do that to TPK the rest of the party, that would go down how it went down. That would unfold just how it unfolded. But I guess the secrets I'm talking about are things that would overwrite the DM's campaign. Like, so here's a perfect example. In my Monday night AD&D campaign, we are playing against the Giants. The Drow have not made their appearance. The Drow have not gone out and started interacting with the surface world. The rare place that the party's going to run into them are in G3. If you sat in on that game and said, my character is a polymorphed drow that fled Airly Sinlu after a massive war there caused his family to flee. There hasn't been a massive war in Airly Sinlu, and you're not a drow. Sorry. Well, my character is a chaotic good thief, and she She's actually the daughter of a human woman and Grazed, but she has rejected. I'm like, no, no, you are literally trying to inject backstory that you like into my campaign. I am the final arbiter of the campaign. All right. If I decide that that's a thing, that's one thing. But you're not just going to spring that midway through the game. Like, oh, my character can see in the dark. Well, Jane, you're a human. No, you can't. Yes, because you see, actually, my backstory is that my mother was a human, but my father was this major demon lord who she summoned. And I'd just be like, no. But that's kind of that's just kind of where I am on secret character with a secret so secret not even the DM will know their secret. That's never going to happen in my game. You want to have secret plans and agendas? DM a game. Have a lovely evening out there. All 40,000 of you ants, be good to each other. Ant Hammer 40,000. In the grim darkness of the ant mound, there is only mindless obedience. Oh, my goodness. Had a player who was a walking encyclopedia Ferunica. One of those 5 pages of backstory characters, a daughter, son of an, yeah. And I guess that kind of goes back to the root of my larger problem with extensive backstories, because there's a point at which you're like starting to write yourself into my campaign beyond what you're already going to do. And I'm not crazy about that. I have actually never seen Ants. It came out at the same time as A Bug's Life. There are a lot of movies like that throughout history, aren't there? Doctor Strangelove and Failsafe. You might even include the Bedford incident and make that a trio. Armageddon and Deep Impact. Mars Attacks and Independence Day. Yeah, 2 lines is plenty of backstory. Exactly 33K7. Players have, and Ants in A Bug's Life. Players have the luxury of doing anything. They have the joy of discovery. My joy as a DM is crafting a world for them to play in. Don't take that from me. I don't know that I'm entirely down with that, Damien. I mean, if it works for you, but yeah. Like I've had DMs even dictate like, your character's name is this. Well, no, my character's name is this. Well, you didn't get to choose your name when you were born. Really? Really? I have never seen Deep Impact or Armageddon. I know a few of the memes from Armageddon. And I've seen the like a few of the scenes from Deep Impact. I love that North of the Rockies. That's a perfect example. I mean, look at Pippin and Merry. Look what they accomplished. What are their backstories? Even Tolkien. Meriadoc Brandybuck. a friend of Frodo's. Peregrine Took, a friend of Frodo's. You know what's important about them? One saves Eowyn's life. The other is the footman to the king of Gondor and a defender of the city of Minas Tirith. They meet Treebeard. They survive the orcs. And by the way, those of you who might be suffering under the delusion that the hobbits are kind of useless baggage, when the orcs tried to take Merry and Pippin, they used their western blades and hacked off the arms and hands of many of the goblins that had reached out to clutch them. We don't need much of a backstory. Well, the Tooks had a great history, but Pippin, well, he was just a fool of a Took. Their story is written as they go. I mean, Pippin never launches into, well, this reminds me of, and then 4.5 pages later, you're like, can we just get back to exploring the mines of Moria? Yes. Well, all the halflings' blades were. They, well, except for, no. Frodo didn't have Sting at that point. Frodo didn't have Sting. Until they faced the bear, or until they got to Rivendell, and he was given it, or did. Oh, well, I guess I got to read The Lord of the Rings. Reread The Lord of the Rings. But the point is, from the Barrow, they all got the Western blades. But anyway, to move on. Yeah, I mean that is their background. Dirty History and Hobby, you raise a good question here. Around what level should player characters become important to the region, kingdom, world at large, rather than just being workaday adventurers trying to keep body and soul together? Now, some DMs will say that this doesn't happen until name level, but if you look in the player's handbook, at the point at which a player can attract a body of men at arms and followers, I think that's the point at which what they're doing spreads out. But heroic deeds will spread their legends far and wide, and that can have ripple effects. Case in point. Now, I don't agree with doing this, but no, Bilbo, yeah. Rory, have a good one. But at the end of Village of Hamlet, a 10th level, Gary recommends sending a 10th level assassin after the party. Their reputation is known. They have probably killed Lareth the Beautiful and incurred the ire of the forces of elemental evil. So they're already having an effect. But once they've cleaned out the moat house, Once they've slain Lareth, once they've driven off his faithful, everybody in Hamlet will know about them. Word of their deeds might spread to Verbabunk. It will definitely get to Nulb. So that is a region, that is a hex that is going to be aware of them. You might deem that word of them will also reach the city of Greyhawk, but at that point, it's got kind of a Chinese telephone effect. So it's going to vary. But if you're talking about like, I'm making a mark on the map, there is something here now in your campaign that perhaps other adventurers might see, might find, might encounter. That's at the point you get to start to build strongholds and attract bodies of followers, build towns, build small kingdoms. That's when you hit name level between 8 and 11. That's when you really start to make tectonic shifts. I'm sorry, it's not at 1st through 7th level. So that, I hope, answers your question. So let's talk, speaking of making your mark and adventuring in D&D, let's talk about the week ahead, because we have got one for you. Tomorrow night, I don't just talk a good game of D&D. Hey, I'm gonna pin that Wonderful World of Games and come back to it. I don't just talk a good game of D&D. We actually play 1st edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons around here. Tuesday night, 9 o'clock to 11 p.m., we will be playing 1st edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, not just for your entertainment, but for your education. Be here then. We'll play, and the way we roll around here, roll dice around here even, is that if you have a question, if you're out there in the audience, I want you to ask the question, and I will, just like I'm doing now, but while I'm running AD&D, if you guys have a question about the game, about what we're doing, I will do my level best to answer your question. If I don't, one of the players might. If the players don't, it is entirely possible that someone in the audience may, because folks, I have the best looking and the smartest audience of all of the 5-night-a-week 1st edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons live streams on YouTube, and that is a hill I will kill on. Don't you believe it? So no, all kiddings aside, if you guys have a question, I want you to ask. I don't want you to feel like you just have to sit there passively. Wednesday, my co-host Kyle is back, and we're going to be playing a little bit of pickup TTRPG stuff on Wednesday, and I'm super hype about that. And I hope you guys are too. We've got a good group of players. They're going to be here, and we're going to play some D&D under the DMing of Kyle Schuant. I'm excited about it. I hope you're excited about it. We'll be here for that. Thursday night is open. Might do a little late stream. Might elbow bend the cold and frosty. But you guys will just have to be here. Friday night, I crashed your party. Saturday, I said I'm sorry. Sunday came, you trashed me out again. Friday night, we are going to play Gamma World, much as we play 1st edition AD&D, and we have got a banger of a Gamma World game going on right now, guys. Don't miss that Gamma World game. It's lots of fun. I'm excited about this. We have got an interesting and creepy story unfolding. Don't miss it. Be here on Friday night. And Saturday, I am not doing. I'm gonna watch TV Saturday. I'll probably watch some football game replays from previous seasons or something this Saturday, and then Sunday off. Saturday and Sunday off. Monday we'll be right back here. So that is what will be happening. The player that likes to write 5-page backstories and played a bard. Every Hamlet town he came to, there'd be another bard with a slightly different name that had been telling his tales. I like that. That's ruthless. I love it. So that is our week ahead. Now, I have been talking to Risa. That's right, Risa. And seeing about getting her crew in here to talk to us about a little TTRPG project she's got going, a little creepy horror RPG that she's part of. I won't go live. Risa, if you're watching this, I won't go live unless you're on the call too. That's just how it's going to be, Risa. Deadly Sin, for those who like to binge watch, do I play or make any playlist for the module? Do I plan to make any playlist? Deadly Sin, you know what? Yes. I will plan to do that. I don't know how well I'll follow through. And it's not because I don't care. I know I need to make playlists. And I just haven't gone through and done that. I can try. I can try. Cause like the AD&D game started just as kind of a freewheeling. Oh, and there was a question earlier that I missed. And I'm going to answer this question. Wonderful World of Games asked me. This game started in a homegrown expedition to Greyhawk game. That is Castle Greyhawk game. And it's just kind of evolved over episodes, not a specific module, just in the Greyhawk milieu. So there's not a specific module. I can't point to it and say, start with this module. Now, we did start this current run of characters in Keep on the Borderlands. We played B2, A1, and are now going through A2. So we have that, and we played part of Legion of Gold in Gem World and all of Albuquerque Starport. There was a TPK in Legion of Gold, and the characters rolled up new characters, and we just kind of went from there. So Wonderful Wizard of Games asks, I'm a big Greyhawk fan. You'd like to know if I've ever written my own setting for players to run around in. I've created my own adventures to set in Greyhawk, but I have never created my own campaign world. Just never had the itch to do a whole campaign world. There are other settings more interesting than mine, unfortunately. You're quite welcome, Deadly Sin. I will try. Hey, Squirrel Hermit. I hope you had fun, my friend. I am still rocking the Squirrel specs. Love these. I got these at GaryCon, by the way, from Squirrel Hermit. There I am. We're sitting on the mezzanine. I don't know what that is. I just love the word mezzanine. I think that's the Drow underworld in Forgotten Realms, isn't it? Where all the Drow live, the city of Mezzanine. Anyway, so I'm sitting up on the mezzanine, playing just a pickup OD&D game with my wife, who did not want to play, but I asked her to play anyway, and she was not happy. But so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, let's play some OD&D. And I got a pocket full of D6s because I'm at GaryCon, for God's sake. And I got my OD&D books with me. So we sit down, and I'm like, oh, I know what it was. I had Heidi and Eric were down in the Sunken Bar area, and I asked Heidi and Eric if they wanted to play OD&D, and they didn't have time because they had wedding-ish related stuff coming up. So Um, Squirrel Hermit, you were there, Squirrel. You and your son came up, and I think one other person joined us up there. And so I'm sitting there trying to read my reprint OD&D books, and like I can't really. And so my man, Squirrel Hermit, a man amongst squirrels, is like, here you go, here you go, and hands me these, and I could read again. And we were done, and I said, here you go. And what was it you said to me, Squirrel? You're like, I got like 5, 6 pairs. You bought them at what was the truck stop, the big nationwide named truck stop. It wasn't Bucky's, but yeah, you had bought a bunch of pairs of these, and I have kept them, my friend. I've kept them since 2023. I've misplaced them before, but I have found them since then, and I love these. I love these. Thank you. Um, have I used Listerine after eating an aubergine on the mezzanine? Loves truck stop. Thank you, Squirrel. Let's see. You're gonna ask. Hey, the only stupid question is the question you don't ask. You're beginning to learn 1E in the PHP. It constantly refers to a bonus of 10% on earned experience. Is this added by the DM or the player at the end? I usually am so busy with accounting that I will just tell the players, if you're due 10%, if I say everybody gets 5,000 XP, if you're due 10%, add 10%. Because I'm not going to do the math for the characters who can and the characters who can't. It's up to your DM. It is up to your DM. What would I say to a player in Greyhawk that wanted to be the world's Drizzt Do'Urden? Good luck. Have fun in Airily Sinlu. Would you like to roll up a character that can adventure with the rest of the party? That's simple. Parent of stupid questions, but there are lots of inquisitive idiots. Very true. Very true. I'm glad, Squirrel Hermit. I'm glad. I'm itching to go to EggCon. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna take merch. If you guys want to buy a shirt from me, I'll have some merch. I may even do a giveaway. I don't know yet. You'll find out. Kobolds versus goblins. Who makes better low tier minions? Um, I almost got to give it to goblins because kobolds have 1 to 4 hit points. Goblins have 1 to 7. So you can have a particularly meaty goblin, 7 hit points. You can have a goblin with 7 full hits. Whereas, kobold could at max have 4, unless they're a chieftain, a lieutenant, what have you. 33K7, get back to work. I'll talk to you later. Oh, yeah, no inquisitive idiots here because, as I say, best looking and smartest audience in all of the 5 night a week first edition AD&D live streams. Hobgoblins. There's some stuff that even hobgoblins won't do. I would do anything for hobs, but I won't do that. All right. Well, any other parting questions? Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything like that? We're coming up on the top of the hour. And I'm just about out of chat. So if you guys have any questions for me, now is the time to get them in. Wheeling Dragon. Wheeling Dragon will be at the con, by the way, the convention, the Guac. I've talked about it before. She's going to be running You're running like 10 sessions of Labyrinth, right? Wheeling Dragon. She's the Labyrinth lady. She's just going to fill the grid with games. It's just like one game finishes another start, one finishes another start, one finishes another start. Just boom, boom, boom like that. It's going to be crazy. Just watch out for her. And get into one of those games because she's a fun game master. So what else? Tomorrow night, tomorrow night, first edition AD&D, that is 9 o'clock. We'll play for a couple of hours for your entertainment. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be pretty cool. Thoughts on Mega Dungeons? They're awesome. Mega Dungeons are fantastic. I've had so much fun with Mega Dungeons before. I've done like a Lost World of Pelukadar in my Castle Greyhawk. The bottom uttermost level is an underground sea. Mega Dungeons kick ass. And let me tell you something. A Mega Dungeon is more... It's not just a huge thing. Guys, let me tell you something. Keep on the Borderlands is a Mega Dungeon. Yes, it is. Look at that map. Tell me you couldn't get lost in there. It's a huge map. Temple of Elemental Evil? You bet your bippy. G3? Uh-huh. Lost Caverns of Sojkonth. Lost Caverns of Sojkonth is kind of an edge case. It's an egg case too. But definitely B2. I would say S3. Definitely S3. Not S2, not A2, or not A1 or A2. But I do like Mega Dungeons. I absolutely do. I do enjoy Mega Dungeons. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? We're looking to wrap up here. Before I do, though, I do want to thank Doc Flamingo, 13 months of membership. Death Angel Shadow, 20 months of membership. And Doc Flamingo for the $2 super. Thank you all so very much. It helps keep the lights on around here. Everything is a Mega Dungeon if you look at it the right way. And yeah, you know. So we will look at a regular dungeon tomorrow night right here on the table. We'll have all kinds of fun stuff. Be here, won't you? Guys, we have merch if you want to check out our merch below. Oh, North of the Rockies. Thank you for the super. Before I depart, speaking of Mega Dungeons, I have not run WLD. I used to think that thing was a joke, and now I could kick myself for not spending the $70 on a few copies, because print copies now go for stupid amounts of money, and I don't know why. So I wish I'd bought copies of WLD back when you could get it in print. I don't know of anyone who's run it ever. My problem with Undermountain, and thank you again for the super, North of the Rockies. My problem with Undermountain is there's a room that has 4 gems that are worth 1,000,000 gold each, and it's like just off the main entrance. Like if you can find that secret door and get those gems, like you don't need to go back in Undermountain ever again. And it's right there. Graph Paper Architect, hello, how are you? We're on the verge of wrapping up here, but do you have any questions? Do you have any comments, criticisms, negative, nasty remarks? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Love the earlier live stream. Enjoyed listening while making dinner. Have fun tonight. I will, Stephanie. Thank you very much. I hope you will come to the virtual con, to the GWOC, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. Just nod and say, yes, I'm going to do that, Delver, and then be here for the GWOC. Thank you for stopping by, John D. Um, oh yes, I know the Dancing Hut of the Baba Yaga. It is a mini module in Dragon Magazine, and it is awesome. Who is my favorite all-time D&D villain? That would probably be a Cesarak in the Tomb of Horrors. What is your question, Graph Paper? Ask, please. I think people are probably like stretching and getting ready to stand up and walk out the door. I don't have much truck with War Duke. It doesn't really do that much for me. I am waiting patiently. Ooh, Stephanie, you got to tell me the next time you come back if you've tried some of the suggestions for game prep. There you go. There you go, Stephanie. That's the appropriate amount there. GPA. GPA. The Machine of Lum the Mad should ask, do I have any open slot? Good God, yes. Get in there. Get in there. Sign up. Yes, I have plenty of slots left. There's plenty of time left. Nobody gives a damn about my little miniature online con. Of course there's slots left. Take care, TXG. Last question, thoughts on lesser known Ravenloft sequel adventure? No, I don't have any thoughts about it. I'm sorry. All right. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Thank you everybody for being here. Stephanie, Robert Santon, TXG, North of the Rockies, Wonderful Wizard of Games, Dirty History and Hobbies, Graph Paper Architect, who will be running games at the Guac, by the way. John D, GPA, North of the Rockies, thank you for the super great old ones. Wheeling Dragon, Kanek, Squirrel Hermit, of course. Thank you. Dirty History and Hobbies, if I didn't say you already. Deadly Sin. I will do my best on a playlist, but I can't promise you anything. Death Angel, Shadow, of course. Always welcome and fun to see you. 33K7. I hope you have a good night at work. Orbital Air, Damien X247. And I think I got just about all of you guys. And 40,000 Ants. Ant Hammer 40K. Thank you for stopping in tonight. I am gonna dip on out of here. And yes, Yang, you need to set up games for the Guac. Peace. I love you guys. Take care of each other. And don't worry, I will not let you escape without being attacked by the owl bears. Peace. Good night. Love you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me